Hello, welcome to this AV Land review of the Marantz PM11S3 amplifier. We're going to talk to you about the specifications of this amplifier, what features it has, the build quality, and what we think of it as a hi-fi amplifier. The Marantz PM11S3 carries on in the family of amplifiers that started with the just PM11 and then we had the S2. It builds on some of the quality from their legendary series and some of the components from that, which is now discontinued. So this is now their flagship amplifier. It has a very, very high quality premium finish. It's got aluminium top side panels. The front panel's aluminium, very thick gauge as well, and everything about it, all the controls and everything they've got turned bits. The ring around the display there in the middle, that's turned, and the power button as well. So it looks very, very nice. Here you can see it's got these blue lights that light down the side. You can turn that off as well as the main display if you're worried about any noise creeping into any of the circuits that can be turned off, but they're all very low noise. The display itself is an LCD display rather than an FL display, and that's to try and get it as low noise as possible. It does have tone controls. It has A and B speaker outputs, so you can buy wire or run two sets of speakers. It has a phono stage that's moving magnet and moving coil, selectable from the front, and a power amp direct in, so you can use it as a power amp as part of another system, or you could have two of these, one on the treble, one on the bass, and you can use it that way and just use the volume control and preamp of one of the amplifiers, so completely bypassing the preamp stage. The preamp stage though is very, very good on this. It uses current feedback technology and has excellent channel separation. On the output stage, it has some 22,000 microfarad capacitors, and you can see here, you know, the way it's designed as well. It's got a real, premium look to it. It really would suit a sort of modern, contemporary environment, and it's substantial. It's built like a tank. It weighs. It's a lot very heavy to move around, and it weighs 26 kilos. It has copper plating throughout. The chassis is copper plated, the back panel, internally there's lots of bits that are copper, and these, as you can see here, that curve at the top, that's another aluminium plate along the top. These are the quite small air vents it has directly above the main heat sinks, just to let airflow through. The bottom of the chassis actually has lots and lots of air vents, so that air can flow through it and rise up, cooling down those heat sinks that have the amplification modules bolted onto them. So inside you can see here, there are the big heat sinks. On the right hand side is the actual preamp stage. They're the two big capacitors, and that big round thing there is the toroidal transformer, which helps keep all the noise inside it rather than leaking out onto all the other circuits if there's any mains noise. This video we actually shot when the Marantz PM11S3 was launched at the Munich show, Munich high-end show. This is the remote control. It's the same remote control that you get with the SA11S3 SACD player that matches this amplifier. It can control both. It uses Philips RC5 codes, so if you've got a CD player that works on those, you can use it to control your CD player as well. Here's a little look around what it looks like sweeping round. So you can see on the side there, that's the aluminium side panels that it has on both sides. It also has very high quality feet to keep it nice and stable. And here's the back panel that you can see is all copper plated. And then you've got in the top left, you have the phone input with a gold plated grounding connection. All the connections there you can see are gold plated. So it has a CD input, two other line inputs there, and two tape inputs, recorder 8 inputs, so as well as two outputs to go out to a recorder of some sort. Pre-outs, so you can use it as a preamp, and then that's the power amp direct in, so you plug that into that, it bypasses the volume control, bypasses the inputs, and in it is effectively just a power amp. And the all-important balanced inputs, which the matching SA11S3 and the new streamer that they're going to bring out as well, the NA11, they both have balanced outputs, so you'll be able to hook it up there, although only one of them, as it only has the one balanced input. These are the speaker tunnels. These are custom made for Marantz, and these are a single copper billet these are made out of, and then copper plated the actual connection parts, but the whole thing's copper all the way through to where it actually connects up with the circuitry at the back. And they're multifunctional. You can use them for banana plugs, and you can also use them for some quite large spade connections, which are favoured, but they've got a bigger surface area. And you can also use bare wire as well into that hole you can see there. But most people probably at this end are going to be getting a high end. They're going to be using spade terminals, which although they've got that safety plastic around them, they can accommodate. Also selectable here whether you have it in stereo or a biamp mode on the back panel. And there's a remote control in and out for other Marantz equipment, so it can talk to that, so you can have them turn on all on at the same time and that sort of thing, just for retrocompatibility. Now, on to the pros and cons. Pros, absolutely fantastic sound quality. It's not a bright sound. It isn't that clinical sound that you get from some Japanese amplifiers. It's a very warm sound, but then still at the top end and mid-range, very detailed. Absolutely lovely to listen to for female vocals and that sort of thing. We partnered it with the new Epicon loudspeakers when we got this in. The Epicon 2s and the Epicon 6s we used with it, with floor standers and a stand mount, around the same sort of price as this, the Epicon 2s, and it just sounded so lovely. The build quality of this thing is just phenomenal. It's got to be one of the best integrated amplifiers out there. You're stepping up from this, you're going to be going down a pre-powered route, which you can also do with this. You can use it as a power amp. It's very pleasant to use. The volume goes up in half dB steps. It's from that point of view, absolutely fantastic. It looks the business as well, and if you marry it up with the PM11S3, then you've got a perfect match. The two work really well together. It's also got a very good phono stage in it. You don't need to get a separate phono stage with this. A lot of effort's gone into the actual phono stage in this amplifier. Cons: only one set of balanced inputs, which seems very silly when they've brought out or bringing out a streamer that goes to go with it that has balanced outputs and the CD player. If you want both, you're going to have to make a decision which one you use balanced and which one you used unbalanced. I think this is a bit of short-sightedness on Marantz's part. It should have had two at least, and it would also be nice if it had balanced outputs, so that you could hook it up to a power amp that had balanced ins. And of course, it would also even be nicer again if you could make one of the two balanced inputs the power amp, in. But if you're just using it with one of those components, you're just using one source, and you're just using it as a straight integrated amplifier, that's of no consequence. So absolutely brilliant. You really can't go wrong. We also tested the headphone stage in this as well, and it is very, very, very good. Just listening to headphones. So all round, for whether you're using it from an analog vinyl source, whether you're using it from a digital source, a fantastic amplifier. One of the best integrated amplifiers I've ever heard. That's the end of our review of the Marantz PM11S3. If you'd like to order one of these, please visit our website avland.co.uk. You'll also find on there more video reviews of other products. Thank you.